So we got to talk about this story coming out of the New York Post, where they're talking about how the NYPD is applications for the NYPD is going down, and I don't know why, because with so much need, with the demand for police officers in the city, you would think that people would be rushing in to sign up to become a police officer, right? You got people being set on fire, you got people being pushed in front of subways, you got people being stabbed, you got even people attacking the elderly, right? There's so many issues going on. You would think that'd be a rush for applicants trying to be officers. However, the opposite has happened, right? People are not looking to want to be officers, because it's just so much. As an officer, what's the point, right? You don't feel like you're being protected as a police officer. You have to worry about your life because the job is already dangerous as is. So where's the incentive for people to want to be officers, especially when you got people committing crimes and then hours later they're being sent right back onto the streets? So all that does is just increases the opportunity for police officers to be hurt. And as a police, if you're a police officer, if you want to be a police officer, you aspire to be one, you're thinking like, why would I want to put my life on the line? Right? It's just not worth it. I just don't see that all the chaos that's going on. It's like, it's not worth it. And obviously that's because of stupid Democrat policies. Right, and you can even see it with the whole congestion toll that's going on. A lot of people are complaining about that. You got people in New Jersey complaining about that. You got people even in New York with the FDNY, the fire department, that are complaining about this, saying it's going to impact people's safety. It's going to impact them doing their job because they're not going to want to do that toll. So a lot of people are having issues when it comes to that congestion toll. And obviously the reason they got that toll anyway is because they say they want to fix up the MTA, but it's like, because New York has done a poor job of maintenance and making sure they've collected enough revenue to make sure they can maintain it. But it's like they rob Peter to pay Paul, and that's how Democrats run, right? And when there's an issue here, they say, "Oh, let's create this tax so we can fix this problem." And then when there's another problem, they say, "Okay, tax this person to fix that problem." And that's how they do, right? That's how they work. Okay, they've run everything inefficiently. They don't do anything well. They cause problems and then try to find a solution to the problem that causes more problems. So it's always chaotic. And for me personally, it's almost like they want the chaos, right? It's like they thrive on chaos. That chaos keeps them in power. The fact that people are struggling to pay their bills, the fact that there's crime. Okay, and then they say, "Oh, we're going to implement this law and vote for us so we can do X, Y, Z," and all it does is create more chaos. And I'm dumbfounded why people keep voting for this. It's like, why are you voting for this? Like, the people that, like, why? Like, what is? You see the amount of chaos that goes on in that city, and you're still voting the same people in. I don't understand it. It's like nothing has gotten better, and you still think the very same people that's creating this is going to make it better. When have they done that? Yet people continue to vote for them, continue voting these people in, and I don't know why. It's almost like people are desensitized to the chaos, and it's just like, it is what it is, and they just keep voting the same way, hoping things are going to change. When in reality, it never does. And when you look at the situation with the police officers, it's just like, you wonder why they're not signing up, because there's no reason to. There's no incentive, right? Where's the incentive to say, you know what, I want to do my job. I want to serve the people. I want to do my job as a police officer so I can protect the people. Like, why? Like, they're just letting people out doing the same. It's the same people committing the same crimes. So I wouldn't want to risk my life to do that. So let's get to this article, because they're talking about the reason why the applications have gone down for the NYPD, and they're gonna break in detail for why that's happening. So let's see this. What they say. All right. So the number of candidates taking the test to join the NYPD has plunged by more than half in the past 8 years, the Post has learned. Prospective members of the New York's finest went from 18,000 in 2017 to just 8,000 this year, a 55% decline according to the data from the Police Benevolent Association. The biggest problem is that cops are telling their friends and family not to bother with this job, even as a stepping stone, because it's not worth it. A Brooklyn cop with more than a dozen years on the job told the Post. And that's the thing. Like, if you got former police officers saying, you know what, don't do this job, right? Especially if a family member, like if you're a current cop, police officer, or a former police officer, and you have family members that are thinking about doing that, why would you want your family members' lives to be at risk? knowing the kind of chaos that's going on. Right, despite what Governor Hochul is saying, where crime is down, like everything is okay, it's being overblown. Man, people see it. People see it. Whether you think it's overblown or not, people see what's going on. Like the kind of stories that are coming out, people are like, "Yo, what the hell is going on?" And this is proof positive that there's less police officers applying to become officers. So that tells you right there, like they don't even want to become cops. Okay, so if that's the problem, there clearly is an issue if less people want to be officers. There's a reason for that. All right. So it says you'll be worked to the bone, attacked by perps and politicians, and hammered with nonsense complaints and ticky-tack discipline. And that's another thing, right? Like I said, being an officer is already hard enough, right? Then you get worked to the bone, do crazy overtime. You're gonna make that money, but you're gonna be worked to the bone. And then if something happens, you're gonna be you got to worry about lawsuits. Right, if you're doing your job, and if you happen to take somebody out, they're gonna try to sue you for it because for you doing your job, and it's just who wants to deal with all that, right? Like it's already being an officer is already stressful enough. Why would I want to deal with all the other nonsense that comes with it? Okay, and it's just all it does is just makes, if you just look at the city, it's just crime has gotten worse. Just living there is just gotten worse. Okay, and this is all because of Democrat policies. Right? It's poor policies, but yet people keep voting them in. It says one longtime NYPD officer said his son plans to join the Suffolk County Police Department this year, despite a lower starting salary rather than follow his father's footsteps in New York City. You're not forced to work every New Year. You're not forced to work every New Year's Eve and 4th of July. The dad said you don't have to worry about getting stabbed, shot, and then sued all the time, right? Like, yeah, nobody wants to do that. You don't want to be working. Yes, that overtime money is good, but come on, sometimes you need a break. Like you want to relax. And what's the point when you feel like the things that you're doing for your job is just not getting any results? It's like, what's the point? Okay. And it says the Suffolk County Department starts cops at $43,000 annually, but pay increases to $158,000 after 11 and a half years. New York City starts at $53,790, and $10,000 difference. I'm like, hey, is $10,000 worth your life? Like, is it worth it? I'll take that pay cut too. And then in 11 years, you can make over 150K. I mean, look it. I wouldn't want to put my life at risk like that anyways for another $10,000. It's not worth it. There's no point. Okay, if I'm gonna have to risk my life, you're gonna have to pay me a lot more than that. Okay, it said New York City cops started at $53,000. One Brooklyn cop who retired recently said he advises young people against joining the department. He says, I tell them, if you want to find another agency that's willing to take you, I would go. The 45-year-old said, I would run for the hills if you can. Mayor Adams pledged in November to bring 1,600 new cops in 2025, but the city has been having trouble finding viable candidates, a union spokesman said. Even if the city gets to 800 academy cadets, candidates who pass the test and meet all the other mental and physical benchmarks by its January 29th target, the candidates pool will be shallow as it comes time to hire the second class of 800 in April. And let's be honest, like because there's such a need for these officers, what's going to happen, right? They're going to lower the standards of getting in, right? Because they need boots on the ground, and that's also not going to be good because then you got to worry about them making mistakes and then doing the wrong thing when it comes to apprehending a criminal, right? And then they got to worry about the lawsuit. So you want to make sure you have experienced people that are well trained. But you can't do that if you have a shortage of people that actually want to be police officers. Okay, and that's the problem. So you're gonna see all these these 800 academy cadets. Look at some of them probably don't even qualify, but because you need the bodies, you're gonna lower the standards and get these people in, and that's not a good thing for the city as well. But what are you gonna do? Okay. And this is the issue that you have when you have poor policies that don't protect the citizens, doesn't protect the law enforcement. You bring chaos into the system. You're gonna create more chaos. Okay, and like I said, people keep voting for these very same policies that are hurting them. Okay, you put these people in office and you're putting in the very same people that are hurting you, making your life more difficult with crime, things being more expensive, things being dirty. It's not a good way to live. But hey, like I said, you vote for these people, you get what you deserve, and New York continues to spiral downhill, get worse, and makes the standard of living for everybody much more difficult. So those are my thoughts. Interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure you leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. So you guys take care. Have a good one. Later.